When I tell you it's been a long ass day, it's been a long ass day. But what's up, Pride? I don't know why I just did all that. But what's up, Pride? Welcome back to another reaction video. Don't worry, it's not gonna be too many of these reaction videos because, like, I know y'all getting tired of it. But I got a mukbang video coming up, and I also have a closet rearrangement makeover, some shit type of coming up. But anyways, if you like this video, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, be part of this pride. And let's get into this because we don't got time. I actually love Mr. Craig videos, so if you want to check him out, go right in the description and check on his channel. And his channel will be right at the end of this video. But today we're going to be watching the plus size park hoppers. That's what it's called. Plus size park hoppers.
I think I've just found the most controversial account on TikTok, but it's not for the reasons you might think.
Have you been dying to ride Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey at Universal's Islands of Adventure, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Have you ever worried about fitting in a non-traditional bed at a Disney World resort? Have you been dying to ride Expedition Everest at Disney World's Animal Kingdom?
These are the plus-size park hoppers, and they are a group that get a lot of love from the plus-size community, but they also get a lot of hate from just about everyone else. From people telling them to lose weight, that this should be a wake-up call, and honestly, a lot of the time just flat-out bullying. I wanted to take a look at their account and their goals, and although there are some positives, I do think they're spreading a pretty dangerous message with their content, which isn't obvious at first glance. Now, they started their account back in 2023, and the group initially started posting a TikTok sharing their special moments from the trip to Disney. The content only got a few thousand views at most, and had nothing to do with their weight at first. But after getting questions about how they were able to go to the bars with plus size, the group started to post tips and tricks videos to TikTok, like what were the best shoes to wear and outfits to wear and be in their size.
Hi everyone, we're plus size park hoppers, and as plus size girlies, we definitely know the importance of good footwear. Our biggest tip is to switch it up every day. So here are our personal favorite shoes for those long days in the park.
But now you'll recognize their most famous content, If I Fit, I Sit, which focuses on sharing videos of all 5 group members trying out the ride seat and checking that they fit.
Have you been dying to ride Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey at Universal's Islands of Adventure, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Are you worried about fitting on rides at Universal's Epic Universe?
And it's not just the park rides,
that is crazy.
Inside of park restaurants too.
Have you been dying to eat a tutorial al forno at Disney World's Boardwalk, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? The seating options here are a mixture of tables with chairs, half booths, and bigger booths as well. We were seated at a bigger booth with a chair at the end. The chair did have arms, so we did ask to replace it. Overall, we found the booth pretty comfortable and roomy enough for the 6 of us.
And before we really get into the video, I want to start by saying that I genuinely think all these girls come across as lovely and genuine people. I think they really made an effort to produce helpful content and probably don't deserve a lot of the mean comments that they get. The point of this video isn't to bully or harass the girls, it's to talk about the effects of normalizing and even promoting obesity. Between Instagram and TikTok, they've amassed nearly 500,000 followers. So clearly there's people out there finding their content entertaining and useful. But the normalization of obesity is something we're seeing more and more on social media. And their content really makes me ask myself, where do we draw the line? How can we decide when we need to stop accommodating obesity and start promoting a healthier lifestyle and better eating habits? With the rise of fast food replacing healthy eating and obesity rates climbing year after year, society's already had to make a lot of accommodations for more with the obese people, as we're just genuinely getting bigger. There are larger versions of pretty much everything now, often referred to as bariatric equipment in the medical field, like bigger wheelchairs, bigger hospital beds, and even bigger MRI and CT scanners. In everyday life, new furniture.
Why the fuck would they put that horse?
Weight capacity and reinforced materials to help obese people feel more comfortable and safe. And for people like the plus size park hoppers, accessible seating has already been created for
why would they do that?
A larger seat and a bigger seat belt. The park hoppers range in sizes from 2XL to 5XL, detailing their exact measurements, so viewers at home can compare their sizes with the girls to see if they'd be able to fit on the rides that they do.
The seat on the left is slightly larger and is considered the modified seat. The safety mechanism here is an over-the-shoulder restraint that does need to get to a certain position to lock. Ashley wears a size 5X and unfortunately was not able to fit in the modified seat, so she was unable to ride this one. Katie wears a size 3X. Despite being able to fit in the seat, she was unable to get the green light on the chest restraint.
I'm dead.
Stephanie and I wear a size 2X. I was able to fit in the seat comfortably and got the green light on
Well,
the
2X
chest
isn't that
restraint.
When the
big.
seating for the ride has already been modified and they've already made accommodations for the obese people and someone still doesn't fit, what then? In the comments of these videos, some people complain that we aren't being accommodating enough. Poor Ashley, it's so disappointing in 2026 that rides are still inaccessible in these ways. I appreciate y'all. It's so unfair, the lack of size inclusivity
You know it's for your
in this
safety,
park.
right?
They need more body-inclusive rides. I'm so shocked that sometimes a 2XL didn't fit.
And of course it's
There's
all
so many
women.
different body types and a 2XL is
Not
becoming
saying-
more common. Why haven't they made more accessible rides? Sorry y'all didn't get the ride. And by the way, 2XL becoming more and more common isn't a good thing. But the rides have already made the larger seats for larger guests that are almost double the size of a normal seat. If accommodations have already been made, genuinely, what is the next step? How big are the seats supposed to get to allow
Yeah,
more
that's
of the obese
crazy.
people to ride them?
A thrilling roller coaster with two different seating types. One is a
I'm still
motorbike
stuck on the
and the other
horse.
is a sidecar. They have a tessie out front, which we highly recommend trying before getting in line. The safety mechanism for this ride is a lap bar that does need to get into a certain position to lock. Katie wears a size 22 pants and has 65-inch hips. She was not able to get the green light on either the motorbike or the sidecar. I am wearing the purple shirt and the gray shorts, and I am a size 20 with 60-inch hips. I was not able to get the green light on the sidecar, even with Katie trying to push down on the lap bar for me. I also tried to push down on the lap bar for Katie, but that did not get the green light either. For the motorbike seat, you do need to step over the bike in order to sit down, but keep that in mind if you have trouble lifting your legs. I did try the motorbike seat and did not get the green light at first, but after Katie pushed down, I was able to get that green light. I personally find the motorbike seat roomier and comfier than the sidecar. There is also a leg restraint that goes over your shins, which can be uncomfortable. Even though I was able to fit in the bike seat, the line for this ride was too long, so neither of us ended up riding.
Taking into account the design of a roller coaster, it's probably impossible to build a ride to accommodate this. The carts of the coaster run across thin metal tracks and only support so much weight. If they're overloaded, they could risk breaking and lead to serious injuries.
Right.
Plus, it just wouldn't be safe to build a ride that accommodates both obese
Final
people and
destination.
smaller people like children because of the weight balance needed for the rides. Look, I'm no engineer, but I
That's
can
what-
imagine
that's
it's
who it's
already a
for.
nightmare getting these rides to be safe. Never mind having to worry about whether your ride can withstand adding thousands of pounds worth of body weight. Like I said before, people are heavier than they used to be. One or two obese people on a ride probably wouldn't make a difference, but a ride full of massively overweight people sounds extremely dangerous, and people want this so we don't hurt people's feelings. When watching the videos too, you will notice how disappointed the girls are when they don't get the green light on the test seats, meaning that they can't go on the ride that they want to go on.
There is a test seat available for this ride located to the left of the attraction's entrance. These seats are molded with a divider that goes between your legs. The safety mechanism is an over-the-shoulder chest restraint that does need to get to a certain position to lock. Ashley wears a size 5X and unfortunately was not able to get the green light for this ride. Katie wears a size
Ashley's
3X,
never gonna
and
fit.
not only did she find the seat to be very uncomfortable, she was not able to get the green light. My name is Stephanie and I wear a size 2X. I was also not able to get the green light on this ride.
After three of the girls couldn't get the green light to go on the ride, they all just looked really disappointed. Clearly, they're all obsessed with Disney. Some have even dressed them up as characters, and they aren't able to go on the majority of the rides at the park due to their size. The idea of test seats
You know what that
is
tells
pretty
you?
crazy, to
That-
be
that
honest.
should
We've
tell you to,
normalized
like-
obesity to the point where we have to
You know-
anticipate and accommodate for it. I'm not really into theme parks, but I've been to a few, and I've never once seen a test seat in the UK. So maybe it's just a USA thing, but the idea of someone being too fat to ride just seems so foreign. Even when they go to restaurants at the park, they have to specifically request not to be seated at booths or on chairs with arms as they won't fit. Where possible, they even book ahead of time, specifically requesting a table and chairs to make sure that they are specifically reserved for them.
Some of the seating here does have arms, but there are also booths and tables with chairs without arms. In this episode of If I Fit, I said we had dinner at Lamplight Lab. There are stairs
So they
to go
make
down to the
episodes,
dining area,
If
but
I
there's
Fit,
also an
I
elevator if
Sit.
needed. There's
That's
both indoor
crazy.
and outdoor seating here. Most of the chairs
You know,
do
it comes
have
to a
arms, but
point
there is some seating
where you
outside
just
without arms. If you
stop.
prefer a chair without arms, don't hesitate to ask a cast member.
Ultimately, asking for a more comfortable chair isn't a crime, and they do deserve to feel
Do they make
comfortable.
merch?
But when accommodations have
If
already
I
been
fit,
made,
I
like having
sit.
a
That's
standing
great.
chair with no arms, and the seats are still uncomfortable, I don't see how this isn't a wake-up call for them. The park hoppers are spending so much money on the tickets and spending days at different parks, and they have put so much time and effort into making sure that they can enjoy themselves because their weight limits their abilities so much. Ashley is the largest member
talk about,
group
yeah.
being 5XL, and after watching the majority of their videos, I just couldn't find a single ride that she was able to go on.
None of
Ashley
them.
is 5'10" versus size 5X top, 30 bottoms, has a 62
Oh, she's
inch waist
5'10".
and 76 inches.
Even with the modified
She's
seats
short as
for bigger
fuck
guests,
to be that
Ashley
big.
couldn't go on a single ride at Universal. And it's the same for other parks too. Unfortunately, she didn't get a green light for any ride. And honestly, I can't help but feel sad for her. Just clearly a huge Disney and Universal fan, paying tons of money to go to these attractions, and she just can't get to enjoy it. Now imagine all of your friends going on rides without you, and you just have to sit there and watch. It will feel
I mean,
very
I
isolating for
don't feel
Ashley.
bad
Do
because
feel
I hate
sympathy
rides.
for her, because some of the comments are brutal. So Ashley just watches the bags. Dang, Ashley just pays all that money to get in to watch everyone else go on all the rides.
Basically.
Ashley should probably take a hint. I wonder for Ashley
That
and
too.
people like her who can't enjoy these rides, what's next? Larger seats have already been built which it can't fit in. Are these theme parks supposed to just make them bigger? Will there be rides built specifically for fat people that only they can ride? And honestly,
But you would
I
think
just
all
don't
that
see how
walking,
this
you
can't
lose like
be
a couple
huge
pounds.
motivator for weight loss. Being able to experience things that people of a healthy weight just don't think twice about.
'Cause
And can
Disney
you
is a lot
imagine
of
the
walking.
feeling that she'd get if she was finally able to fit onto her favorite ride at a theme park? After years of being too big, it would feel unbelievable for her. Especially for Ashley, as she's had to watch all of her friends go on these rides without her, sitting on the sidelines. Being able to join in and go on these with your friends and experience it together would be amazing. Would it be so bad to have a goal of seeing the green light instead of red? Now, one of the biggest issues with these types of accounts is that it actually encourages them to stay at their current size. Like, the name of the account is literally the plus size
Plus size
park hoppers.
hoppers,
The
yeah.
more annoyed people get in the comments, the more views they get, which leads to higher engagement. And
That's
obviously,
true.
because of their high follower count and the amount of views they get, they're obviously making money from it. And I bet a lot of their tickets and meals are even discounted or even free for bringing attention to the parks. The more attention the account gets, the less likely they are to change. Especially when they've made their entire identity about being fat.
Plus size,
And the sad
yeah.
thing is, all of these girls, especially Stephanie, are clearly very charismatic and clearly have a lot of knowledge about Disney. Even if they didn't focus on being plus size, I bet their account would get a lot of attention from other Disney adults. But now it's pretty much just a content form for viewers to poke fun at. Even on Tom Segura's podcast, he finds the idea of the account a total joke.
Have you ever been seated at a restaurant and found that you couldn't fit comfortably in the seat or booth? Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers.
I'm
Ranging
dead.
sizes from 2X to 5X. Like this video and follow us for more plus size Disney content. We're starting a new dining series called If I Fits, I Sit. In this series, we'll go to different restaurants on Disney property and beyond, showing you the types of seating they offer, whether or not we find it comfortable, and we'll also review the food.
I don't know why these people don't do what I did. Just feel immense shame about the way you look
Yeah.
and feel.
Yeah. Here's, by the
Don't you
way,
hate when you see arms on a chair? What the fuck is wrong with you?
will this
Who
chair
the
hold
fuck
me?
is thinking that? There's arms here? This isn't for me. Jesus Christ. Sit on the floor. That's what they should do.
God.
If you walk into a restaurant and you don't fit in the chair, you eat on the floor until you
Yeah.
can fit in a chair.
Like in Afghanistan.
That's against
Jesus
protocol.
Christ.
Sometimes social media can act like a safe space where you're tucked away inside of a community that you're part of. And with plus-size Disney adults encouraging each other in the comment section, it isn't actually like real life. It isn't normal to worry about whether you'll be able to sit in a seat in the restaurant. You are, unfortunately, morbidly obese at that point, and it is unhealthy. I don't understand how it isn't a wake-up call not to fit on a ride. But it's not just the ride and restaurant seats that the park hoppers complain about, but also the phenomenon of the term that they've coined the Disney rash.
Have you been dying to get the Disney rash? No, probably not, but it does happen. Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers. We range in sizes from 2X
Look how they
to
walk
5X.
there.
Sure you like this video and follow
What the
us
fuck
for
is
more plus size
what is
Disney
the-
tips and
what is
tricks.
the
If
Disney
you don't know
rash?
what the Disney rash is, consider
okay.
yourself lucky. It's also known as exercise-induced vasculitis. It can happen when you're exposed to heat and if you're exercising for a long period of time, which are both super common in Disney World because you can walk between 5 and 10 miles a day. The rash typically appears on exposed parts of your lower legs. It can cause an itching and burning sensation and just be downright uncomfortable.
Everyone knows that theme parks are massive, and it's kind of the point. The rides are massive and they take up
That's
tons
a
of
thing.
space. You can easily walk over 10, 15,000 steps at a theme park. In fact, you should be walking at least 8,000 steps every day as part of just being healthy. I might be controversial in saying this, but I wouldn't consider walking 5 miles strenuous exercise. It's literally just walking a few thousand steps extra in the day. Being overweight also makes you much more susceptible to getting exercise-induced vasculitis, aka the Disney rash, because of heat retention in the fat tissue and increased inflammation. And it's actually very rare in people of a healthy weight who exercise often. To be honest, the plus-size park hoppers' experiences at theme parks sound pretty miserable. They have to check if they fit on every ride, which most of the time they don't. They have to book ahead of time to make sure the chairs are big enough to fit them, and they have to leave if they don't. And they can't manage walking long distances across the park without getting in pain or getting the Disney rash. But for the plus-size park hoppers, their anxiety for making sure they fit starts well before the end of their parks. It actually starts on the flight beforehand. The park hoppers exclusively fly with Southwest Airlines because their accommodation for plus-size people is well ahead of any other US airline.
Have you been dying to fly in an airplane, but you weren't sure if you fit? Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers. We range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus-size tips and tricks. Flying as a plus-size person can cause a lot of anxiety. Between worrying about if the seats are too narrow or if you'll need a seatbelt extender, there's a lot to think about. We've been flying with Southwest for years, mostly because of their amazing customer size policy. If you think that your body will extend over the arms of the chair, you are able to book an extra seat and you will get refunded for it after your flight. It's super easy to do. So just book as 2 passengers, and for the second one, you put XS in the middle name. This will automatically be recognized as an extra seat in their system. When you get to the airport, you print your boarding pass as you normally would. You will get 2
I did not
boarding
know
passes,
that.
one for you and one to display on your extra seat. This will let other people know that that seat is reserved. When you book an extra seat, you automatically get pre-board. And this is to ensure that you and your extra seat can sit together. We're also able to bring our friend with you to pre-board, which we think is so nice. We like to ask for our seatbelt extender as and the flight attendants are super nice and discreet about it. The armrests between the 2 seats do come up so you're able to be more comfortable. We recently flew in their MAX 8 plane, which is super new and very spacious. As a 2X, I did not need a seatbelt extender, and the tray table came all the way up. When your trip is completed, you can call Southwest, and they will either refund the points that you paid or the cost of the second ticket. This policy makes flying more comfortable for everyone, not just us. And we are so grateful that Southwest offers this.
I'll start by saying that it's great the park hoppers are aware that they need an extra seat because a lot of fat people don't realize this. If they didn't do this and you had to sit next to someone who was literally spilling over into your seat, it would be uncomfortable for both people. I do think though that if you're using 2 seats, you should have to pay for both. You're taking a seat away from someone else, and I don't know why you have to get that for free just because you're too fat. Now, I wanted to check for myself what the policy was for plus-size passengers with Southwest Airlines. And unfortunately for the park hoppers, their refund days will soon be gone. As of January 27th, 2026, plus-size passengers will no longer be able to refund the cost of the additional seat if the flight is fully booked. Their updated policy also states that if a passenger is of size, meaning if they don't fit within both armrests and encroach into neighbouring seats, then they will be rebooked onto another flight with an additional seat. I do see this change as positive, and it's simple really. If you encroach onto someone else's seat, which they have to pay for, that is your fault and you should be made to reboard. I also think it's fair to pay for an additional seat if you take up 2. If I bring more luggage than I pay for, I have to pay for it too, so there's no real difference here. Honestly, after watching the plus-size park hoppers videos for a long time, I have to say it's hard not to feel pity for them, because it seems like the thing that they look forward to the most is ordering massive meals in the restaurants. Now look, outside of all this negativity, I do think the group still has a positive message to share. They are trying to encourage people of a similar size to still go out and enjoy themselves, which I totally agree with. I think their videos could be helpful for people who want to know more about the parks they're visiting as well, as they are clearly passionate about Disney and want to share their passion. I also think their content is helpful for people with physical disabilities who need to know specifically what the requirements are for each ride, like if a walkway is accessible or not, or if the distances between the rides are too long so they can know ahead of time if they need a wheelchair or just more assistance. Even for people who've started their weight loss journey, this account is informative for them too. Their energy as a group could lead to a successful social media account all on its own, without the mention of them being plus size, just them sharing their love for Disney with people and showing the best ways to get around the parks. My issue with this type of content is the normalization and even promotion of this unhealthy lifestyle. If we're unhealthy, I think we should be encouraged to change our lifestyle rather than expecting the world to adapt for us instead. Especially when you've got a group like this who make their entire personality about being plus size and being fat. You just know that they're expecting the world to change and they aren't going to change themselves. Now, I know this is a pretty controversial video and I didn't want to lay at them too much because they just do seem like friendly people and are putting themselves out there. However, their content does bring up a lot of issues and I needed to address it. Let me know in the comments below.
Period. You didn't need to. You wanted to. But I don't know. I just feel like making being big your whole personality is crazy. Cause didn't Lizzo do that? Alleged. Well, I can say that because didn't she? Wasn't. I don't think she made it her whole personality. Yes, she did. Cause she made a whole TV show called Big Girls. Maybe that's where. No, it didn't start there. It started way before Lizzo. But I don't know. That's just the world we live in now. Everybody's gonna get bigger. Not everybody. People are gonna get bigger, and there's nothing we can do about it. They want us to change, but they're the ones who have to change. And if you're plus size watching this, I'm gonna edit that out because I can't say that. But anyways, if you like this video, I love you. Thank you for watching it. Subscribe to be part of the pride, and I'll catch you in the next one.